Right, I'm having another go at £120 Hickory Warbow, and I learnt some lessons from the last one where I'd left it very rectangular in cross section to try and make it easier to heat treat it, but rounding off those corners and the final tapering and what have you, it lost me a good deal of draw weight. In fact, I ended up reworking it to an £80 long bow. So you really need to keep that draw weight up and pull it to full draw weight as long as possible. The other thing is you can't floor tiller a warbow. It's just too stiff to really flex in the early stages. The other thing is, by the time it's braced, you're virtually finished, because before that point it's just too hard to brace and all of a sudden it all starts happening. So I'm going to be a bit more cautious with this one, trying to get the draw weight right up. Another couple of things, with a fairly slab-sided rectangular or squarish cross section, it's uncomfortable in the grip. So I've actually left a little swell on what is going to be the back of the bow this time, so I can round it a lot more, make it comfortable. This one's also different insofar as the growth rings are pretty much running back to belly rather than following a ring going across. I don't suppose they'll show up on the picture there, but it's sort of, well, the growth rings are sort of slightly diagonal. But anyway, we'll see. So at this early stage, I don't expect to be able to see a fat lot happening when I pull it to 120. There we go. And you can see this limb was flexing a bit more, but it was moving. I've rounded the back very slightly, basically taking the corners off and chamfered the corners on the belly just to get it moving a little bit more. But one of the problems, of course, is when it's not bending much, it's very hard to judge the tiller, and you get beginners posting pictures of bows that are barely flexing, asking for an opinion on the tiller, and you just can't see. But with a warbow, by the time it's bending significantly and you can really look at the tiller, you're almost there already. So it is a bit tricky. Anyway, having just done that bit, we'll see if it flexes a bit more. There, you can see it's definitely moving. That's 120, I'll go a bit over. So it's nowhere near brace, but there's a 130. And that's the difference between it being dead square and just having, taking a chamfer off it. Yeah, slow and steady. I'm not going to come underweight this time. I'm not going to come underweight this time. I've narrowed the tips a little bit from about 12 inches out. I'll just take them down to about ½ inch wide at the very tip. I had put it on the tiller again, it hadn't made much odds, so where I've chamfered off the corners, I've now taken the belly down to sort of meet the chamfer and then chamfered the corners again. So you're working down the corners and then you're taking some off the belly. But again, it's easy to, I don't want to overdo it. We'll have another look. Certainly moving a bit more now, isn't it? That's 110, 120. So if you look at it, that's not far off. Sort of brace is 130. Oof. That was 130 at 15, so we can interpolate that. Times 31. £268. So yes, I've got a lot of wood to take off yet, but I'm wary. I'm just trying to get the tiller sort of balanced and get it sort of moving, then I can see where to take the wood off. What I don't want to do is take a load of wood off here and suddenly find it's too weak when I get the tips coming round. Maybe I'll get the tips coming round more. It's just hard to see, but maybe I can see a bit more now it's back to about 15. I can see how it's starting to bend.